everyone, we are here today with a map update of 12 May of 2023, and we are going to analyze and we're going to see what is happening on the map of the war between Russian and Ukrainian army, and we're trying to give you the best informations. And shall we begin? Stasis is a temporary process. No being can exist in the static state forever. Prolonged stasis is a harbinger of great events, great changes to come. This change will of course be inevitable. No power can prevent the change from starting. Well, in the war between Russia and Ukraine, we are about to leave behind in recent days the time when changes of the front line were almost very limited. The major counteroffensive, which the Ukrainian army has been preparing to launch for a long time, is about to begin very soon. The Ukrainian army, which achieved a great success on a smaller scale of counteroffensive, has the Russian army in its claws. Russia is rapidly moving towards a great catastrophe. The Ukrainian army is actively using the power it gained after intensive preparation at many points, and many reports are being shared about the victories of the Ukrainian army at many points on the battle line. Well, let's take a look at the latest developments on the front line together on the map. The Pioneer team is compiling, analyzing and reporting the data on the biggest war of our century and share it with you. We need your support to continue this labor-intensive endeavor. You can provide this support by using the Super Thanks button. Well, in this report, we will mostly focus on the developments on the Bakhmut line. Well, in recent days, there have been some very remarkable and from the Ukrainian point of view, exciting developments on the Bakhmut line. Well, the Ukrainian army has not yet launched its major counteroffensive, but local sources believe that the latest Ukrainian offensive is quite fierce. So what will happen when the big Ukrainian counteroffensive starts? Let's take a broader look at our map to see how it has changed since our last map reports. Well, on the map today, you can see that there are areas colored in blue. These blue areas are located on the Bakhmut line and represent areas that have been liberated by the Ukrainian army in recent days. The details of the liberated blue areas indicate a big win for Ukraine. Well, in recent days, the Ukrainian army has intensified its operation in Bakhmut. You could see the city of Bakhmut and its surrounding on the map. Ukrainian officials shared the information that the Ukrainian army liberated 17.3 square kilometers in just 3 days in Bakhmut line, which is the center of the war map. Looking northwest of Bakhmut, we see the 00506 highway. Ukrainian troops launched a large-scale counteroffensive around this highway. With the withdrawal wall of the Wagner troops here, the Russian soldiers who replaced them lack combat experience. Therefore, they are unable to fight effectively against the experienced Ukrainian troops. As a result of Ukrainian army's operation in this highway, the Russian troops in the area were forced to abandon their position and retreat 2 kilometers in the directions of Berkivka. On the other hand, the siege operation in Bakhmut continues unabated. The Ukrainian army continues its operations to surrounded city of Bakhmut from 2 fronts, north and south. Especially in the operations in the northern region, the clashes continues quite fiercely. According to the latest data, Russian soldiers lost controls at many points in the north of Bakhmut. Russian soldiers who have lost control are retreating, leaving all of their equipment. We have shared with you in our previous reports that the siege operation in the north of the Bakhmut is likely to be launched through Kromov. The pressure of Ukrainian troops in the Kromov direction is also increasing. In recent days, the Ukrainian army announced the creation The Ukrainian army announced the creation of the buffer zone in the region. It is estimated that the buffer zone will expand in the coming days. Well, the Russian army is unable to stop the Ukrainian army's advance in Bakhmut. We have mentioned the importance of Bakhmut in our previous reports by giving a chess example. Well, the Russian army is unable to stop the Ukrainian army's advance in Bakhmut. We have mentioned the importance of Bakhmut in our previous reports by giving a chess example. Capturing Bakhmut before the Ukrainian counteroffensive would be a significant advantage for Ukraine. When we look at Bakhmut on the map, what we see is that this region is the center of the war, and in chess, the one who holds the center wins the war. Now, let's look a little bit south of Bakhmut to Mariinka in the Donetsk Oblast. As you can see, Mariinka is outpost of the Russian invaders, which has been inserted into the territory of Free Ukraine. Well, the Russian army, which has suffered one heavy loss after another on the Bakhmut line, wants to make up for its losses here. Well, but the Ukrainian army does not allow this. In recent days, the Russian army has attempted several offensives on Mariinka line from the south, and the Ukrainian army, on the other hand, carried out a successful defense operations against Russian soldiers and pushed them back. In these coming days, the Ukrainian army is expected to launch a small counterattack on this line as it did on the Bakhmut line. Well, let's take a look on another important point, Luhansk. There has been a remarkable development in these recent days, so much so that Russia was almost shaken with this development. Luhansk was hit by long-range missiles, and the Russian air defense system could not prevent this missiles attack. According to military experts, this attack could not have been carried out with HIMARS missiles because the range of HIMARS missiles does not have the capacity to cross the front line of the war. Well, in other words, HIMARS missiles fired from the main front line can only travel up to 80 kilometers. Well, the distance between the front line and the center of Luhansk is about 100 kilometers. According to military experts, this attack could not have been carried out with HIMARS missiles because the range of the HIMARS missiles does not the capacity to cross the front line of the war. In other words, a HIMARS missiles fired from the main front line can only travel up to 80 kilometers. The distance between the front line and the center of Luhansk is about 100 kilometers. According to many military experts, this attack was carried out with cruise missiles. In the past few days, the center of Luhansk was shaken by two very violent explosions. The intensity of the explosion was felt even in urban centers far from the region. The missiles hit the machine building factory in the center of Luhansk. Moreover, a Russian senior official was in the region when this attack took place. Viktor Vodolovsky, deputy of the State Duma of the Russian Federation, was in the region to conduct inspections. It is estimated that the Vodolovsky was near the factory when the missiles attack took place. In the images shared by the Russian sources, it is also clearly seen that the Russian officials were injured. In Zaporizhia, located on the south of Ukraine, the Russian army has been taking a number of initiatives. In Zaporizhia, located on the south of Ukraine, the Russian army has been taking a number of initiatives to prevent the Ukrainian counteroffensive, showing increasingly teamed behavior against the Ukrainian threat in the region. Russia has made unsuccessful attempts to attack Ukrainian fortifications in the region, while the Ukrainian army, on the other hand, is shelling the positions on the Russian invaders on the bank of the Dnieper River south of Zaporizhia. And in recent days, the Ukrainian army has concentrated Well, the Ukrainian army has concentrated its pressure on the coastal area of Malashka and Zlatopil. In these coming days, Ukrainian gunboats may increase their activities in this region. Developments, especially on Bakhmut line, shows that radical changes on the battle map are imminent. Based on the battle map that has turned into favor of the Ukrainian army, we can say that the Russian troops will not be able to resist this psychological pressure any longer. What do you think? Do you think the Ukrainian army can take back the control in the Bakhmut? What do you think? Do you think the Ukrainian army can gain control in Bakhmut? Do you think there will be an increase in the liberated territories in the northern region? Do you think the Wagner withdrawal had an impact on fighting in Bakhmut? What impact could the missiles hitting Luhansk have on the Russian defense plan? We value your opinion. Please share them with us.